Hi, this part is about testing. We've done a lot of the background work, and now let's make sure that it's going to last. And this isn't just about testing, it's also about a technique that you can use should there be any situation that for whatever reason we haven't covered here. So this is where I ask you to bring one of these. So if you don't have one on you or near you, then bring one. If you've thrown them away already and you feel quite confident as you see me going, and you have absolutely no desire for a cigarette, you don't need this, okay? But should there be the slightest desire for a cigarette, either as you see me, as you can see, I used to be a smoker. It's absolutely disgusting. I'm trying to pretend for your benefit. Look at the cigarette and just be honest with yourself. On a scale from 10 to 0, how much do you want it? Where 10 is, I've got to have one, and 0 is, no thank you. Whatever number comes to you, if it's even 0.1 above a 0, then tap along with me. So, tap along. As you're holding the cigarette, literally would be the best. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. This cigarette desire, 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 this cigarette desire. As you can see, I yawn when I do EFT. Okay. This cigarette desire, this cigarette desire, and have a rest. Nice cigarette. Let's tap one more time. I'm just bringing up the desire in you. And I said, if you have no desire, fantastic, but if there's a desire, then that's fine, we'll tap it. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. This cigarette desire, 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 this cigarette desire. Okay. Have a rest. Look at the cigarette again and ask yourself on a scale from 10 to 0, how much is the desire? If there's anything above a 0, tap on it. If it has come down to a 0, which for most people it hasn't by now, but let's say it has come down to 0, then take it a step further. Smell it. Or take a dry rag and see if that brings up the desire. If there's any desire there, let's tap. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. This cigarette desire, 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 and have a rest. Okay. keep tapping until the desire is zero. And now, should you ever be in a situation where, for whatever reason, we haven't covered that situation, or there was a trigger that we weren't aware of in this program, then all you have to do is do this tapping and the desire will come down. Now I'll give you a little hint. If you're in a public place, these are the finger points that you can use. This is another one. You can go, even though I have this cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have a cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have a cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have a cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have the cigarette desire, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now I've tapped on all of those fingers because even though not all of them are used in usual EFT, the reason why I tapped on them is to introduce a new idea to you. Finger rubbing. You rub the finger. So you're rubbing your fingers on the side of the nails here, which is something you can do surreptitiously. Just something you can do under the table. I'm doing it. You can't see me. Very handy. Should for any reason there be anything that we haven't covered here, in the situation itself, you can surreptitiously do this. Nobody will know what you're doing, and if they do, they have good reason to, and they've been there before too. If not with smoking, with something else. And that's perfectly okay. Enjoy your freedom. I'll leave you to tap anything that's left to tap, and also to enjoy your homework.